This question is asking us to focus on the underlined portion, so let's just make sure that we do that. Yes, we have to read everything, but we got to make sure we're picking a choice that relates to the underlined portion. The people of medieval Europe have traditionally been seen as uninterested in cleanliness and hygiene, but modern research has shown that this is largely a myth. According to historian Eleanor Janega, most medieval towns in Europe had at least one public bathhouse, which often offered both full immersion baths and, more affordably, steam baths. While such amenities were available mainly to town dwellers, regular bathing in rivers and streams or daily sponge baths at home were common practices throughout medieval Europe. So the while stands out to me, right? There's some sort of contrast with something. So let's just look at the choices, right? I'm not going to try to come up with what I'm going to guess this answer is. It sounds like there's a contrast, but let's see. A, it asserts that in medieval Europe, steam baths were more popular in rural areas than in urban ones. Well, they do talk about steam baths, and this is why if you focus on nouns in both the choices and the passage, you're going to get kind of tempted by things like this. But I'm more interested in adjectives and verbs, descriptive things, right? So more popular is a comparison. So are they comparing the popularity? Well, it does say that they have steam baths. They're more affordable, so there is a comparison. But I don't see anything about their popularity, right? They're available to town dwellers, maybe not as much to rural people, but that's not about whether they're popular. It's not about whether they like them or not. Maybe they are not in the rural areas because people there don't like them, but it doesn't say that, right? So we're not allowed to make those kinds of assumptions. So this is the wrong kind of comparison. B, it describes the limitation of earlier historian studies of medieval European bathing habits. Well, no, it's not about the historians. It's about the habits themselves. So this is a good example of like the main character of the passage is switching. We're not criticizing the historians. We're just discussing what they think. C, it concedes that not all people in medieval Europe had access to public bathhouses, right? Because while such amenities were available mainly to town dwellers, then the rest of that is, they weren't available to everybody, right? So it's weird that they didn't underline everything. It's just what it is, I guess. But that seems okay. This is a concession, right? So it's kind of when you agree to something, maybe reluctantly. Concede is you agree reluctantly, but in this case, it's kind of the bigger point that this sentence is making is that people bathed. But the concession is that maybe they bathed in different ways because things were not like as available in different places. So it's a concession. It's just not one that, I don't know. I wouldn't have used the word concede here, but it does seem to fit because the rest of this piece here is talking about access to public bathhouses. Some people don't have it, right? Let's look at D. It explains why Janega decided to study the popularity of public bathhouses in medieval Europe. Well, I'll just turn that into a question. Why did she decide to study this? I don't know. It just says that this is her view. It doesn't say that she was like really interested in how medieval people bathed. That's a weird hobby or fetish or whatever you want to call it. So no, that's not there. But yeah, C is right. And now, again, I wouldn't have come up with choice C myself if I didn't have answer choices, right? But this is why we don't bother to do that, right? Let the answer choices just tell you what to care about, and then you're testing those answers against what you're reading. You're not trying to just come up with the answer out of nothing. Use what's given to you. Only one thing will be right, but you're testing all the answer choices.